Hey, you guys. So, yesterday I uploaded a video um, basically showing you what was in the junk journal kit or collection that I have for sale in my Etsy shop. And, you know, I put together 40 of those kits. And um, when I went back and watched that video again, I realized that there was all kinds of stuff that I had intended to include in that kit that I just totally spaced out. And I feel kind of bad because, it kind of makes me, I don't know, I guess it makes me human. I don't know. But so I wanted to, rather than just updating the listing on Etsy, I wanted to just go ahead and make a new video, show you what, I had forgotten to include, and basically show you show you the kit again. Because I, I think that those things are important. And, um, because I want it to be worth the energy, worth the money, I mean, I don't want this kit to just be, um, something that everybody basically already has or whatever, I mean, all of our stuff is different. So, and please understand that part of the reason that I'm doing this is because it's like a destash effort on my part. Okay. So that's part of the reason, most of the reason that I'm actually even, doing this. So, excuse me. So my whole feeling behind putting together a junk journal kit or collection or whatever you want to call it is that you could make a journal with the materials that are included in the kit. Okay. Um, there may be some stuff that is not here, like, uh, cord, like I'm not including any, wax linen or, um, obviously no paint or anything like that. But for the most part, you could actually make 3 or 4 or 5 even like mini junk journals out of what's in this collection. So, and it would actually be a very cool project or projects. So anyway, so enough of that, blah blah blah. um, I'm just going to run through it and basically pretend like maybe I'll just pretend like we didn't do that yesterday, so this will just be like a do-over. Okay, so the whole kit does fit into a like a padded flat rate priority box envelope. So I'm doing a flat rate shipping on it, $7.10 anywhere in the U.S. Because it is more than 15 ounces. So it won't. I can't do it first class. So anyway, so well, I'll open that in a minute. Okay. So first of all, what I had forgotten was that I was going to do like a larger piece of the cotton fabric. And I remembered the strips, but I forgot to include the larger piece because I think, it's a nice piece, and it could cover an entire journal, or it gives you lots of little pieces if you want to tear it up and use it for embellishments and that kind of thing. And then I've done 4 strips of just different cotton fabrics. Okay, so this one actually came from a sheet, but like an old sheet, but it's all clean, trust me. Very clean. And then, just from random sources. Some are from, a thrift store or things like that. Some are actually from Joann's, but so there's some fabric. And then another thing that I had intended to include but completely forgot was a vintage sewing pattern, and I'm just including the entire pattern in the kit. And so vintage meaning older than 20 years. Okay, I'm not saying that you know, the pattern that's going to be in the kit is, you know, from the 40s. Matter of fact, I don't think any of them are older than 60s. So, but you know, you're going to get the pattern tissue, the instructions, the envelope, and any of the patterns that I'm including. They're all in pretty good shape. So I'm not going to include any that are, you know, completely falling apart and disintegrating. Okay. So they'll be usable, you know, and just about every one of these patterns is actually usable as a pattern. Like if you wanted to make the dress or whatever, you could. Okay, so that, and then this is the rest of the fabric. So see, I included some pattern tissue before, but that's just because I have a ton of it, and so I'm trying to kind of, you know, whittle it down. And these small pieces, I just have so many of them that it's really hard for me to use them. And so I just kind of stuck them in here, and that's why I forgot the pattern. But anyways, so then there's going to be a piece of, oh my God, I always forget what this stuff is called. Burlap, okay? And then some scraps of upholstery fabrics. So, you know, anywhere between, you know, I'd say 8 and 10, like small scraps, and then, you know, a few larger ones. So, and these are all upholstery fabrics. These are going to be completely random. Every kit's going to have a different, you know, set of fabrics or whatever. And I paid no attention to whether or not they matched or were any kind of a color scheme or anything. So just be aware of that. And the same with the other fabrics too. You know, I was not trying to color coordinate or anything like that. Okay, and then we've got glassine envelopes. These are old envelopes. Okay, these are from a stamp collector. I bought them from a stamp collector who is no longer a stamp collector, and I had no need for these anymore. So a lot of them have writing on them related to stamps. Okay, some of it is in, I believe, Chinese or Japanese. I'm not sure. Someone told me it was Chinese, I think. Anyway, so kind of an assortment of glassine envelopes. Okay, and then these are not glassine, but these are French fry bags. Okay, so they're slightly waxed, lightly waxed, I should say, not slightly. So there's at least two of 4 different sizes of glassine envelope, and then of this size, I think I did 4 or 5. So in each kit, so total of about 10 glassine envelopes, and then the 2, sometimes 3 French fry bags. And then the papers, I've got a couple of bingo cards. They're just the floppy bingo cards. And then I always forget what these things are called. A guest check. This is just like the tiny little guest checks. So there's a couple of those. And then just some, you know, random notepad papers, you know, sheets from some notepads. Great for pages in journals, you know, and almost any of those could be coffee dyed. This is just a, you know, a statement form or an order form. Some phone call or message forms with the carbon copy. And then another larger guest check with the, you know, the 2 layers. So, okay. And nothing about this little packet changed as far as the content from yesterday. But so then also the scraps of cardstock and origami paper and thinner scrapbook paper. So there's some solids and some patterns, and these are all going to vary. Most of them are white on the back. Not many are two-sided. This happens to be a piece of graphic 45, I guess, so it's two-sided. And then the solid cardstock, of course, is, you know, all the way through. So what I did add was some additional 4x6 and yeah, 4x6 and some 6x6 scrapbooking paper. So you're going to get like 4 sheets of that. So 2 4x6 random patterns and then 2 6x6. Okay. Oh, this goes with that. This was supposed to be with that, but, and then also I forgot about the wrapping paper. So I have a whole bunch of vintage wrapping paper, and so I'm just going to put a couple of somewhat generous pieces of wrapping paper in each kit as well. So that's a change, and so is the additional scrapbooking paper. So no changes to the little cards. So we've got a few index cards, some Project Life cards. These are the 3x4 size. So I did 4 in each kit. And then some playing cards. Some of these are actually games. Well, duh. I meant to say like some other children's game or, you know, game that involves cards. And then some are standard playing cards. So, and then a couple of tags, just some white tags, and then some little tickets, a couple other little tickets, a couple of the little science flashcards, and then a couple of merchandise tags. Okay, with the cotton string, and then envelopes. Nothing is changing as far as envelopes. So you've got a couple of the small coin envelopes. I saw actually at Office Depot today they have the medium size, and they're like $30 for 500 of them, but I think I'm going to go ahead and get them. So if I do that, then I'll go ahead and add a couple of the medium size envelopes to the future you know, shipments of these kits. Maybe I might not buy them. I don't know. We'll see. If I do, I'll share some. Okay, so a couple of the large ones, a couple small ones. This is a watercolor paper envelope, and then a security envelope, and a large foil lined envelope, a couple of just plain white envelopes, a white paper bag, a piece of fun foam for various reasons, and then just a standard like lunch bag. So that's all the same as was shown yesterday and as is pictured in the listing on Etsy. And I'm going to update the listing too. I'll just take a couple extra pictures and just kind of edit the listing. So then I had this little bundle, and I had intended, I just forgot to open the drawer where all of my bridge score sheets are. So I had intended to include some bridge score sheets. And so I'm going to go ahead and do 4 score sheets from different pads, okay, from different, you know, score pads. So I'll add 4 of these to each kit. And then there's a time card, and I added map paper. You know, these are cut up maps, okay. A couple pieces of map paper, some flashcards, and then this is actually wrapping paper also. I'm going to go ahead and put that with the other wrapping paper. So that's like handmade wrapping paper. And then a piece of braille paper. And this is the Ladies' Home Journal. It's like a 1947 issue of Ladies' Home Journal published in braille. And actually each page is like that big, you know. It's a huge book, and it's very heavy. I have another braille book. They're really, really interesting. How large they are. It's kind of cool. I want to learn braille. Anyway, excuse me. And then as far as like book pages and that kind of thing, I added a divider to each kit. Well, I mean, it was already in the kit. it's not any different, but there is a divider in each kit from one of the 5-ring binder books. And then I couldn't find my French dictionaries when I was putting this kit together. I swear I could not find them anywhere. And I have 2 of them. I have one that's like an illustrated one, and then one that's just, you know, the words. But I found them. So I'm going to include a page from each one. And that's a double, you know, page. So really it's like 4 pages. This is the illustrated one. The paper is real thin. And each of the heading words is, or not heading words, but entries is like in bold. So it's kind of cool. Like really bold. Anyways, and then just the regular French dictionary. And then this is just a regular dictionary page, an English dictionary. And some other random book pages. This is from a math book. This is just a novel, but it's really nice, heavy book paper, and I like the way it's just colored, and that's the way it was. I didn't copy dye it or anything. And then this is from a bird book, a vintage bird book. I did do at least one page out of a little golden book. I just assembled 5 or 6 of them and did that. And this is from the Handyman's book, the Better Homes and Gardens Handyman, you know, file book. It's like the 5-ring binder book. Anyway, this is just from another novel, but I like the way that it's printed. This is from an encyclopedia that I got from Carla. And this is the most delicious, softest paper you could ever want to feel. It really is. It's just gorgeous paper. So she and I both really, really like this encyclopedia set. And then there's a page from one of my legal books, one of my law books that I purchased. And these are vintage books. These are from before the turn of the century. These are from like 1881. So they're really old. And then a couple of sheets from some other bird books that I have. And then this, I did a page out of this vintage book on draperies. And put one in each kit. I did just one sheet of ledger paper. This is new ledger paper. It's not vintage or anything, but it's nice to have a little bit of ledger paper in a junk journal. And then this is some old, well, it's not that old, a few years old, graph paper that I printed off of a website. I can't remember the name of the website. You can print your own free graph paper though. Let's see, it's the website is printed on the bottom of it. But anyways, so all kinds of different graph paper, this circular graph paper, and some, I mean, they're all going to be different. Each kit, you know, is going to have different graph paper. Oh, this is printed on a pretty heavy, like, presentation paper. And then I did a sheet of the address labels. So these are, you know, stickers, the Avery labels. So you can make these into stickers. Cool to just do stamped images and stuff on them. And then a page out of, this is a children's like hymnal. And then a couple of flower books. This is a Reader's Digest book on perennials. And then this is from the Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. It's a page out of that. This is from a children's book about space and that kind of thing. Apparently she got hit by a meteor. Anyway, but I like the color. And this is from a Mother Goose book. Each journal is going to have a page out of this. And with some complete, you know, poems. This is from a cookbook. This is like, I think it was printed in 1957, something like that. And it's from a cookbook called like something like Cooking with a Foreign Accent. So all the recipes are like, they're from like around the world or whatever. Oh, here's another flower page from, I can't remember. I think this might be a Reader's Digest book also, as are these. Yeah, both of these are too, I think. So, yeah, so nice variety of book pages and, you know, different types of books, all different kinds of books. That was what I was trying to do, is give you like kind of a wide spectrum of, you know, like subject matter in the book paper. And so then I also included a piece of this. This is actually like a drawer liner paper. It's like slightly scented, you know. It smells really good. So, but anyways, they're big sheets. So I forgot that I had like 20 sheets of this paper. So I cut them into quarters and then folded them in half. So that's a new addition to the kit from yesterday. So I added that. And then I also had intended to print off some ephemera, and I think this is the biggest thing, the biggest change to the kit. And this just, if it was me looking at it, this is what would kind of set me over the edge, you know, as far as usefulness. So I'm including 4 sheets of printed, basically ephemera, that are either copyright-free images that I found, or advertisements from a magazine or magazines that are from, you know, like 1910 or earlier. Okay, so all of these are, you know, public domain, you know, no copyright on them at all. But I wanted to share some of those with you guys, and I printed them out because I know, like, I could have done like a digital download or something like that, but I'm just not into doing that. Like, I would rather just print it out for you, and then if you want to scan it and copy it or whatever, you can. But anyway, so I printed some of these on a heavy cardstock. This is like craft cardstock. This is from the Hobby Lobby cardstock, so or craft paper, so it's real heavy. It's really nice paper. I love it. And then I did a sheet of frames. These are like Art Nouveau kind of style, so from like the 20s, 30s style, and so are those. Anyway, so a sheet of different frames. And then this is actually from a magazine called The Delineator, and in 1921 is the date that this magazine was published, so it's totally fine for me to copy this. And there's a whole bunch of advertising on here, and you know, you could cut this out obviously on vellum. You could cut these out and use them in all kinds of different projects. And then I printed the same pages that I printed out, like a full page, and then I did that and with the same pages again, but I printed them at half size, you know, in a 5x7. So so you actually get 2 additional pages of advertising, but smaller. Okay, so that's the biggest change. And then there's also the 5 sheets of tea dyed. This is 24-pound copy paper. Okay, so some of it's actually going to be 28-pound, but not all of it is. So I didn't want to say that it all is, but I know it's at least 24-pound. So really nice tea dyed paper. And then I did a file folder, just half of a hanging file folder, and that could be made into like a journal cover or something like that, right? So let me put this back together. And then this hasn't changed. This is the same. There's going to be a bag of vintage buttons, and this is very, very random, you guys. I didn't like sit there and like pick these out, obviously. And then some postage, all, you know, canceled old postage. And then a little bag of book pages punched out with all of my punches. So I just, you know, punched out a whole bunch of different shapes out of all kinds of different book pages, and I just put a little bag of those together for each kit. And then in here This is the like trims and stuff like that. Not a ton. Sorry, hang on a second. Let me get this out of here. Not a ton of trims, but I did have some that I wanted to share and destash. So I just went ahead and cut these up and included some in each kit. Okay, so it's very random, but you know, and they're not giant pieces. They're small, you know, but they'd be great if you wanted to like make your own junk journal salad or something like that, right? So there's a little handful of those. And then some of the little quotes that I made years ago that I've just kind of had sitting around in boxes waiting for a project. And yeah, I don't know what else to do with them, so I'm going to give them away. I'm going to give them to you guys. And they're all just different quotes, you know. A lot of them are about love. A lot of them are just about life. You know, friendship, being nice to each other, all kinds of things like that. So all different quotes. And then everybody's getting a pinup girl too. So yeah, here's some more quotes. Some of them are proverbs too. Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. And that's a French proverb. More grows in the garden than the gardener knows he has sown. So yeah, just a whole bunch of these, and these are all printed on resume paper. Some kits are going to get, you know, more of this kind that aren't, you know, mounted or anything. Some are going to get less and that kind of thing. I did this very quickly, and I did not think about it. I just grabbed and put them in the bag. So, so you never know what you're going to get in here. This is a grab bag. Okay. So, and then like I said, the whole kit fits into a priority, padded priority mail envelope. So yeah, so that means faster shipping, right? So it comes out to like $32 or something because I'm selling the kit for $25. I was going to do 30. I came to my senses. I realized that a lot of this stuff didn't necessarily cost me that much. So I'm, you know, and really I am mostly trying to destash. So, you know, that's the truth. So thanks for helping me with that. Then I can get more stuff, right? Anyway, so it all fits into this envelope, which means it'll fit into the priority mail envelope. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and get this uploaded and take some more pictures and do a little bit of editing on the Etsy listing. If you don't see a change in there or whatever, just rest assured, you know, just rest assured that I am changing the kit. Like I am adding that additional stuff. So I didn't take anything away. All I did was add stuff to it. So anyway, thank you very much for understanding. And you guys have a fabulous evening and day if you see this in the morning or whatever. All right. I love you guys. Bye now.